Signing class. We got 27 guys total, 15 offense, 12 on the defense side of the ball. So we're very pleased at what we was able to accomplish. We think we got some playmakers, some difference makers, and we can't wait to. Some of those guys are already here that we will be playing in the spring. We was able to hit all the states. I think we got Alabama was the most. I think we got 10 out of Alabama, and 5 out of Georgia, and then we spread the rest of them around. So we're very pleased, excited with the new coaches on the defense side of the ball and the players that we got. We're looking forward to next year in the spring getting started.
What were some of the areas you felt you needed to kind of replenish most from the guys that left?
Well, offensively, we got 5. We signed 5 offensive linemen. We signed 5 wide receivers. We signed 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends, and 1 running back. So we thought that's where we needed to help at. You know, of course, we're pretty solid at running back, so we only signed 1 young guy, high school kid, and because we're probably going to lose 2 running backs next year. So then wide receiver wise, we want where we used to being at wide receiver, so we brought in 5 other guys to help out at that position. Then quarterback position, we brought in 2 quarterbacks, 2 more quarterbacks. So and then offensive line, we're going to be senior based this year, and so we want to be able to not miss a beat and get those guys ready to step in and not miss a beat. Defensively, 5 defensive linemen. We signed 4 corners, DBs, 2 linebackers, and 1 long snapper. So we kind of covered everything we thought we needed, and now we probably still have 5 or 6 scholarships. So we'll see how spring go, and then the portal open back up. And if we think we need to get a guy or 2 at a spot, we'll attack that with the portal.
Do you think a lot of these guys are going to be competing for starting jobs?
Oh yeah, all of them going to be competing for starting jobs. Pretty much all the jobs are wide open. You got to keep your job. You got to earn your job, and you got to keep it. It's hard to earn a job in the spring, but you can show a lot and move up the depth chart. You can win a job in the spring, but you can't win a scholarship in the spring because we're just going against ourselves. We don't know how good or how bad we are. So I always tell the guys, you can't earn a scholarship in the spring, but you can earn a starting job in the spring.
Coach, of course, you know, the transfer portal has now been in effect for a number of years. You guys have utilized that. How would you say it impacted your recruiting tactic this year?
It impacted it, but I think we signed more high school kids than we did in the portal this year. So I think it was 15 to 12, something like that number, real close to that number. So, but it's important. I mean, you get a chance to pick up a kid that's been in the strength and conditioning program, that has the nutrition, that's proven that he can do it. Sudden rolling the dice with a kid that hasn't, or that you still have to develop. And you know, like I say, some guys we signed that we know not going to play this year, but as much as we want, that we're going to still develop and get them ready to play the next 3 or 4 years. Maybe get them 4 games this year and then redshirt them. So it just all depends on where we are and what we see.
You mentioned the Alabama guys. How do you feel about who you were able to get from the state, and do you feel like you were able to make another impact here in Alabama?
Yeah, I do. I think so. We was able to get guys from Montgomery, Mobile, Birmingham, and this area too, Huntsville area. So we want to be big in the state of Alabama. We got some good football players in the state of Alabama, and we want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence in the high schools here, and I think we did that this year.
Is there a particular position group that you're more excited about?
Yeah, all of them. All of them the same. You know, every one of them has to produce. You know, I always tell the guys we need all 11 every play. So if 10 positions doing their job and 1 don't, then we have nothing. So we're excited about every position and every young man that we brought in.
Coach, I kind of looked around. You know, you've got some new staffers on the squad, particularly on defense. Can you talk about who you brought to your staff to help Bulldogs win some games this year?
Yes, Corey Barlow is coaching the cornerbacks. Granville Eastman will be coaching defensive ends. Cedric Thornton will be coaching defensive tackles. And defense coordinator will be Thomas Howard from Sacramento State. He was there last year, and he was at A&T 6 years before that. So Thornton has plenty of experience as a DC. He was at Grambling the last 2 years, and Alcorn the 6 years before that. So we got a lot of experience with those guys. Eastman's been a head coach and a coordinator here, so all those guys can coordinate. We feel very good about that staff. Now we got to get the players to go along with that staff and everybody execute at a high level.
Coach, talk about the kind of guys that you wanted to bring in and add to your team, whether on the field or off the field.
Football players. We want football players. We want guys that want to play football. You know, a lot of guys out there today got their hand out. What can football do for them? What can the school do for them? We want guys that want to play football. The perks are great, but we want people that we want guys that want to play football, want to come and get an education, graduate, and have a chance to play some more football if that's what they desire.